As soon as my eyes closed and opened, Bai Ye came to another world. And it seems like he's still in prison, which is actually the worst start. But there was not even a moment of mourning for the bad start, and what immediately arrived at the scene was White Knight's golden finger. Awakening Game King Card System. The strongest illusion hall at the beginning was born. What? Does the host want to open Gundam? Gaoda doesn't have it, do you want the Tianting? Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Opening Eyes and Flowing Through Time. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Chapter 1. Cold and Trembling. Bai Ye slowly opened his eyes and looked around with a slightly bewildered expression. Everything seems very unfamiliar. Lying on a dilapidated tin bed. After sitting up, there are cold stone brick walls on both sides behind me, and an incandescent lamp emitting a faint light on the ceiling above me. With the help of dim light sources, Bai Ye was able to see herself clearly. The clothes on the body are still the same summer outfit as before the coma. Wearing flip-flops on the feet. The mind froze for about 3 seconds, and Bai Ye reacted. This is the rhythm of time travel. There are 9 out of 10 time travel novels, and the protagonists are all awakened by him. That is to say, open your eyes and flow, at the beginning. If he remembers correctly, following the routine of crossing the flow, the next step should be a ding sound. The protagonist's golden finger is activated and quickly familiarizes himself with the following environment, and finally opens the golden finger to counterattack in a different world. Oh. There is also a standard line. I have traveled through time. By analyzing the current situation, there is a 95% chance that Bai Ye has determined that he has traveled through it. Otherwise, it's a realistic variety show. However, in the domestic environment, such behavior of directly kidnapping others to perform programs is obviously impossible to occur. After all, as long as the person involved has a call to the police. Take another short video and post it on Cebu and Shuain, ensuring that even the director, staff, and behind-the-scenes company, who may be criticized by netizens, do not know their mother. Of course. There is another possibility. That's being kidnapped by a mastermind behind a chainsaw to play a game. But according to Bai Ye's memory of that movie, he is not constrained now, and there hasn't been a TV show before where a masked person said to him, "Let's play a game." Opening your eyes and starting the game, coupled with teleportation to a place where birds in another world don't poop, it's like a prison. Bai Ye looked at the iron window in front of her and murmured tears to herself. Belonging to is the worst start. Even if it were to teleport me to a carriage, surrounded by burly men of all sizes, it would be nothing more. But soon. White Knight thoughts return. Because his golden finger has come. All of this originated from a ding sound in his mind. What is my golden finger? If it doesn't work well, I will refuse it. You have obtained the Game King Card System.The. A question mark appeared on Bai Ye's head. Although he likes to play Game King and also likes to use the God Monument beads, Tears, Bird Source God, Silver City, and Broken Weapon God to bring Xiao Rong to the opponent, what does this Game King card mean for me now? Isn't this a world of playing cards where everything can be determined by playing cards? But Bai Ye's subconscious told him. This is definitely not that simple world. Who wants this thing? Playing cards without making a decision is only useful in that world, and in other worlds, it's not like others summoning punches and directly attacking. After completing different check.In tasks, the host can obtain corresponding card strength and strengthen themselves. Okay, the misunderstanding has been resolved. The gaze of Bai Ye became clear again. Detected the host's first time crossing, now give the host a land reclamation gift package. After opening it, you can randomly obtain a card power. After the sound ended, a floating red gift box appeared in front of Bai Ye's eyes. A 3-dimensional pattern with no solid body. Randomly select. Bai Ye grinned. There are conservatively estimated tens of thousands of cards in Game King world. According to the Game King setting, cards can rely on the power of the elf world, and even receive cosmic energy to make cards. That kind of class is probably even more ridiculous. Since it's a land reclamation gift package, how dare you let me randomly draw it? It's okay not to give him a blue-eyed white dragon, at least give him a real red-eyed black dragon to give himself. Protection ability, right. Despite that, Bai Ye began to open the gift package. The Kaihuang gift package has been successfully opened. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Phantom Emperor. Robbie Al. Next up. In front of Bai Ye, a card shrouded in black mist appeared. On the back is a black hole, while on the front is the pattern of the Phantom Emperor among the 3 illusions. But it is different from the cards owned by Bai Ye. In Master Duels and real cards, both the 3 illusion gods and the 3 illusion demons are real cards with clear effects. But the cards that appeared in front of Bai Ye at this time, besides their names and patterns, were described in special words below. It looks like an ancient cuneiform script. Despite this, Bai Ye found himself able to understand. So are these words the summoning words of the Demon Emperor? Just like the 3 illusion gods. As is well known. Summoning gods requires spells. If you don't recite a spell, you won't be able to summon it. And if it's not a priest, even if a god is summoned, it will be backfired. But the 3 illusions don't have that many restrictions anymore. At most, it can confuse people's minds. After all, in the original work, after the chairman of the Dueling Academy summoned the 3 illusions, his spirit became abnormal. After being defeated by the 10th generation, he became a kind old man. And it seems to have sensed the doubts of Bai Ye. A voice reappeared in his mind. After the host merges the card, the strength belongs entirely to oneself and will not be affected in any way. It's okay then. Without any worries, Bai Ye directly chose to merge the power of cards. Next up. Waves of intense darkness were released from the card of the Phantom Emperor. The space seems to be vibrating. And White Knight's body is like a vortex, crazily devouring all the darkness. Until absorption is complete in a few seconds. The power of the Phantom Emperor fully integrated into Bai Ye's body. White Knight's eyes also showed a crimson hue, but soon faded away. After everything is over. Bai Ye noticed a very large and versatile special power in his body that could be used at any time. No accidents. That is the power of the Demon Emperor. I just don't know to what extent the Phantom Emperor can reach in this world. Although Bai Ye can be flexibly used, it is not familiar after all. Let's experiment. Think of it here. Bai Ye placed his hand in front of the iron fence and with a slight force, he dismantled the entire iron door. Coming outside, Bai Ye looked at the dark and cramped prison corridor, and her eyes instantly became friendly. What kind of world is Kong Kong? Think of it here. Bai Ye suddenly saw several figures rapidly approaching him. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. I am the Demon Emperor, who are you? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2, is that right here? Did the abnormal spatial fluctuations just now occur here? Does it mean that the seal of the prison barrier has finally loosened? Several voices mixed with joy came from the darkness. Not long after. From both sides of the prison corridor, more than 10 different figures appeared. In fact, Bai Ye originally intended to shoot towards the darkness. But when I heard the voices, I still stopped my desire to take action. After all, it is necessary to establish good relationships with the local indigenous people when you are new to the area. After integrating the power of the Phantom Emperor, White Knight has acquired the ability to see at night. As the figure approached, he quickly saw the faces of these people. The figure that caught his eye was dressed completely different from what he had imagined. A gentleman wearing a suit and a top hat. There is also a graceful lady dressed in evening gown, as if going to attend a high.End banquet. Warriors wearing armor, as well as skinny old men dressed as ascetics, wearing low-waisted jeans, exuding a flowing aura, with a small young man wearing a hairstyle resembling Caribbean pirate Jack Sparrow. In addition, there are also many figures dressed strangely. Bai Ye's face showed a strange expression. Is this playing cosplay? Okay. He looked down at his flip-flops and big shorts. What is he doing for COS? Is it the fire cloud evil god? These people showed a hint of fanaticism on their faces and soon walked up to Bai Ye's side, looking around. The place where the magic surged just now was nearby, but why did it suddenly disappear? There must be some remaining traces, hurry up and find them. Don't command me. Sutra. The originally quiet prison suddenly became noisy. They spoke lines that confused Bai Ye. What prison boundaries, what dream prisons, what seals? Hello, I have a question I would like to ask. At least they are also the 5 good young people of the 21st century who have received modern education. Bai Ye politely asked. These people may know something. He needs to figure out where this is. But no one paid any attention to him. Get out of here. Get out of my way. A man with a delicate appearance pushed Bai Ye aside directly. This action directly made Bai Ye swallow the words behind her. Good kid. Toast, don't eat, fine, right. He held on to the shoulder of the person who had just pushed him. So uncivilized, how did your family educate you? Bai Ye's expression was displeased. The other protagonists, after gaining their abilities, are all bosses, my second. How dare you speak to me so politely when I speak to you? Get out of here. The man with a delicate appearance became furious at the words. I slapped it directly. Extremely fast, it seems like a practitioner. Before, Bai Ye would definitely have to endure a hard slap. But how could he possibly get beaten if he had cheats around him? Pop. After the white knight flashed by, not getting used to him, he directly pulled a big pussy. A very crisp sound. The entire prison fell silent in an instant. The man just now covered his face, which was fanned red, with a bewildered expression on his face. Her already pale and delicate appearance was even more melancholic, with a bewildered expression. And this confusion quickly turned into resentment and hatred. He is so big that no one has ever slapped his pussy before. Not to mention this guy with an extremely weak magical aura in front of him. Go to hell with me. The man launched a fierce counterattack, his mind filled with thoughts of killing Bai Ye. And Bai Ye dodged the piercing arm on his side. With a thud, a hole was poked out from the wall behind. If this were to hit someone, I'm afraid it wouldn't be directly pierced. Not a cosplay. It's true. Such thoughts flashed by, and when the man was ready to thrust into him again, the expression on Bai Ye's face had already darkened. Okay. Squeezing and using lethal weapons, right. He originally intended to vent his anger and let it go, but now he's not talking about it. The next moment. A wave of darkness surged out of his palm, and a chaotic and massive dark energy converged in his palm, then slapped the man just now. Boom. I only heard a loud explosion. The man's body instantly flew sideways and slammed into the wall with a loud bang, causing the cement wall several meters thick to split into pieces. When the smoke and dust dissipated, the man's body towered on the ground like a rag doll. The neck was twisted 360 degrees, obviously losing its vitality. This power is different from what I imagined. Bai Ye knew that the power of the Demon Illusion Emperor was very strong, so he specially compressed the output just now. But unexpectedly, one slap still killed the person. After learning that he had killed someone, Bai Ye was still a bit flustered at first. After all, he traveled through the 21st century. I have known since childhood that killing is illegal. But he soon realized that he had traveled to a different world. The past laws simply cannot constrain him. Besides, he was just in self-defense. If it weren't for this person killing someone, how could he retaliate? So the dead are not his fault, but the fault of the deceased. The originally noisy prison became even quieter after this. There was a silence of about 5 seconds. Bai Ye sensed the fearful, surprised, contemptuous, or displeased gazes cast by these people. At this point, the gentleman wearing a top hat squinted his eyes. He looked at Bai Ye's cheek and said, "Who are you? Why haven't I seen you in this prison before?" His eyes were sharp and sharp. After he spoke, many people had already secretly retreated. It is obvious that they are afraid of him. In just a few seconds, the cramped corridor filled with troubles was left with only 5 figures except for Bai Ye. All with malicious expressions, staring at Bai Ye. "Listen up, you little devil. Are you the first one to appear here? Hurry up and explain the situation earlier, otherwise. Say it." The young man named Sutra, dressed in flowing attire, raised his right wrist. Then a flash of light was released from his right hand. The storm that caused the ground to roar came from top to bottom and oppressed. The other 4 people clicked and each avoided or resisted. Only Bai Ye was hit by the storm, and at the same time, the ground beneath his feet was also shattered. However, only White Knight standing at the center of the storm was unharmed. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Chat Group, Start. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Chapter 3, The unexpected scene surprised Sutra greatly. What's going on? You completely devoid of magic and superpowers, how can you be safe and sound under my shattered axe? Meanwhile, other people in the prison corridor also found it unbelievable. After all, Sutra is the last descendant of the heavenly ministry. The overall strength of the person is also considered outstanding in this prison. Even they have to be wary of the power of this man. However, in their eyes, Bai Ye did nothing and blocked this guy's motivation. They had never heard of such a man hidden in the prison barrier before. After all the inmates in this prison are extremely vicious and demonic criminals. And all of them were locked in by that damn witch. There are a few years less, and even more than a decade more. In this situation, the group of people locked in a prison boundary cannot be unfamiliar with each other. What's the point of bang and smash? Do you always name moves like this? Upon hearing this, Bai Ye immediately became happy. How dare you underestimate me? You're looking for death. Sutra was originally irritable, and coupled with being a member of the heavenly tribe, he regarded other races as inferior and had a high sense of superiority. Bai Ye was unharmed under his attack, causing him to lose face. Now mocking his move name again. Sutra was instantly enraged. This is the move name that he spent a long time thinking of. The youth unleashed a strong murderous aura. At the same time, a prompt suddenly appeared in Bai Ye's mind. Check-in task. Escape the siege of the wizarding criminals and try to leave the prison barrier. A familiar noun. The prison barrier text catches the eye, and thoughts spin rapidly during the day and night. Further analyze based on the current situation. Bai Ye's expression changed and he said, I'll go. I shouldn't have traveled to the world of blood devouring, right? The prison barrier is a foreign prison guarded by the gap which Nangong that month. There are many demonic criminals who have committed serious crimes imprisoned inside. Sutra. Isn't this name one of the criminals at the prison barrier? Thinking of this, he made a stop gesture towards the man in front of him. Stop for a moment. Before we start fighting, I have a question. Do you know Nangong Nayue? See Bai Ye mention this name. All the faces on the scene showed expressions of hatred. It seems that I have met. Bai Ye nodded. Make sure you have traveled to the world of that anime. But isn't there something wrong with the start? At the very least, if everyone else starts with a civilian, just give me a criminal start. And it was still falsely accused. Get lost, right? What is your relationship with that woman? The gentleman wearing a top hat spoke up. Everyone saw that Bai Ye was out of place with themselves. After all, there is no criminal who will not resent the gap who is imprisoned at the border. But the man not only didn't show that expression, but also felt lost in thought. Do you believe that Yuejiang is my wife? As soon as this statement was made, everyone's faces showed an expression of, you're teasing me. But soon, they realized that they had been fooled. There is more than just shut-era eyeing. A gentleman wearing a top hat, a promiscuous woman in formal attire, a warrior holding a large sword, and a monk all exude a strong killing intent. It seems that you are very dissatisfied with my wife, so I'll play a game with you now. The content is either I'm beaten to death by you, or I'm beaten to death by you. After Bai Ye finished speaking, those criminals were instantly angered. After all, everyone is locked up after committing a crime, and the moral bottom line is very low. Although Bai Ye is a good young person who has received compulsory education, he also has his own flexible moral bottom line. It's just killing some criminals, and he doesn't have much psychological pressure. Sutra was the first to launch an attack. The invisible storm is once again pressing down. But Bai Ye has already figured out the details of this guy. These criminals were all just embroidered pillows in front of him, who possessed the power of the Demon Emperor. The power of the Phantom Emperor Rabi Al surged within White Knight's body. It seems that endless dark energy is spreading out of his body. At the same time, White Knight's body also ignited a faint blue flame. Then he waved his hand casually. Accompanied by a thunderous roar, the figures standing in front of Bai Ye were instantly overwhelmed by tsunami-like energy. Along with this prison sealed in a foreign world, 1.3 is directly missing. The deafening sound was incessant. After the smoke and dust dissipated, the previous few wizard criminals who wanted to kill Bai Ye had disappeared without a trace. Hiss, such a powerful force. Bai Ye remembers that among the criminals who rushed over just now, there was a guy holding a big sword. In terms of setting, he is a descendant of St. George, a dragon-slaying clan. The physical strength is extremely abnormal, even the companion beasts of the old generation vampires cannot be harmed at all. Before being caught, several cities were destroyed during battles with others. A master of this level, even if not top-notch, can still be considered a second-rate mid-level. It seems that the power of the Demon Emperor is much stronger than I imagined. Bai Ye's mood suddenly brightened up. After all, what could be more enjoyable than traveling to the world of manga and having an invincible golden finger? The answer is of course not. Puff. A voice like this came from behind. Looking back at the White Knight, it was discovered that the previous dress mistress was now sitting on the ground with a fearful expression on her face. Ji Liola has already succumbed to the power demonstrated by Bai Ye. If that force had hit her just now, even if she were an old generation vampire, she would have been instantly wiped out. Therefore, when I saw Bai Ye looking over, her face immediately showed a charming and pleasing expression. At the same time, he deliberately opened his clothes and presented his beautiful body in the eyes of Bai Ye. Rao. Rao me, I'm willing to do anything for you. The female vampire's eyes are wandering, pitiful and delicate. The White Knight stands tall, facing the scrutiny of summer. Glancing towards the most attractive place. Good figure, especially those two grapefruits. But unfortunately, it's a rotten product. A regretful expression appeared on Bai Ye's face. At the same time, she released a faint blue flame in her hand and swallowed it, watching her die in the flames. I originally wanted to let you go, but you dared to control me with your mind just now. He eliminated all the criminals who were blocking the way. Just as Bai Ye was about to find a way out, a voice sounded first. Dimensional chat group invites you to join, yes/agreed, Bai Ye. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. What forced events? You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Chapter 4. What kind of pressure is there? Seeing the words that appeared in his mind, Bai Ye was momentarily stunned. Besides this check.In system, is my second golden finger also about to awaken? What a son of fate. But why doesn't your chat group have the no option? If you don't allow others to refuse, why not just give a yes directly? Is the second agree intentionally put out to prove that your chat group is very user-friendly? The chat group is waiting for the choice of day and night. But Bai Ye did not have a second choice. He can only agree. Of course, he didn't think of refusing either. Group message. Welcome to join the Dimensional Chat Group. Your nickname has been automatically generated. Group message. Welcome new members Demon King to join the chat group. Revenge Sword Ghost. Sigh. Is this a newcomer? Snow Blowing Queen. Welcome newcomers. Super Electromagnetic Cannon. Welcome newcomers. And how does this nickname look so much like a big shot? Internet Addicted Kitten. Welcome new members to join the group. Master of Wanhua Mirror. Alas. After all this time, have new members finally joined the group? Revenge Sword Ghost. Congratulations, congratulations. Snow Blowing Queen. It's been almost a month now. I thought no one would come in, but now there are new members joining. Super Electromagnetic Cannon. It seems that this group won't be able to have 5 women in one drama in the future. Internet Addicted Kitten. How about changing your name to Love and Family? The Snow Blowing Queen. This is good, after all, it's rare to be in a chat group. Isn't it necessary to get along well with family like that? Phantom Emperor. This name has the style of an elderly middle-aged person. Internet Addicted Kitten. Newcomers are a bit impolite, there are no elderly people in our group. Super Electromagnetic Cannon. Yes, the oldest one is Miss Snow Blowing, and she's only 23 years old this year. Snow Blowing Queen. 22 years old, thank you. Draw your sword. JPG. See here. The White Knight was instantly confirmed. This is a sand sculpture chat group, that's right. The feeling of entering this group is instantly as warm as returning home. And after the opening of the ice stream, now we have added chat group genres. Then these group members should also be from different anime worlds. The Super Electromagnetic Gun is easy to guess. The female supporting role Mikasaka in the list of forbidden books of magic. That's right, she's the supporting actress. After all, the official female lead of the Demon Forbidden World is the Foodie Nun. But Misaki Osaka has been consistently high since her debut. Later on, there were even TV shows featuring her as the main character. The Snow Blowing Queen, combined with her 20s, should be the leader of the Snow Blowing group in One Punch Superman. The Blowing Snow of Hell. Rank first as a B.level hero. If it were the Lord of Wanhua Mirror, could it be the game he once played? If so, then this one is the heavyweight. As for the Vengeful Sword Ghost and Internet Addicted Kitten, there is insufficient intelligence. But Bai Ye didn't care either. Anyway, we will know sooner or later. By the way, shouldn't you introduce me to the newcomer, said the Phantom Emperor, internet-addicted kitten. I almost forgot, after all, your reaction after joining the group doesn't seem surprising at all. After all, everyone in the group is talented and speaks well, which gives me a feeling of returning home, said the Demon Emperor, super electromagnetic cannon. Ha! I really enjoy listening to you when you talk. Let me briefly explain, said the Lord of Wanhua Mirror then, under her explanation. Bai Ye clarified the message in the chat group. The setting is the same as the novels he has read before. And what needs special attention is the integration function. Points can be used to purchase items in the mall or to strengthen oneself. There are currently 3 ways to obtain points. They are check.In, completing tasks, and uploading valuable items or abilities to the group mall. You can sign in once a day. You will receive a range of 50 to 100 points each. As for the task, chat groups will post personal tasks to individuals, and after completing them, they can earn points. The upload function is even simpler. After being determined by the chat group, valuable products can be uploaded to the mall. The goods here not only refer to tangible props, but also to intangible abilities. For example, one's own martial arts, magic, and so on. And after uploading, other group members can also use points to purchase. There are only so many functions for now, which is not much different from what Bai Ye understands. It seems that there is currently no time travel function. But considering the urine nature of chat groups, some conditions should be required for automatic unlocking. Snow-blowing Queen. At Illusion Emperor, do the newcomers understand now? If you still don't understand, you can chat with me privately, and you only need to join the snow-blowing group I created. Snow-blowing Queen. Not only that, members of the snow-blowing group who purchase superpowers internally will have additional discounts. Super electromagnetic cannon. Sister Blizzard, are you starting to attract new members to join the team now? Snow-blowing Queen. Of course. My snow-blowing team will be the largest organization spanning countless worlds in the future. Master of Wanhua Mirror. I don't think Miss Blowing Snow's idea of attracting new people will come true. After all, what you said is too suspicious. Snow-blowing Queen. True gold is not afraid of fire, and our snow-blowing queen never deceives anyone. Do you have a welcome gift package? If not, I won't go. Snow-blowing Queen. So far, there hasn't been one yet. Revenge Sword Ghost. Blowing snow, the newcomer is already politely rejecting you, so let's just die of this heart. Super electromagnetic cannon. Not only that, but I also feel that the newcomer is a big shot. After all, our nickname when we joined the chat group was designed based on ourselves. For example, if my ultimate move is Super Electromagnetic Cannon, then the nickname is Super Electromagnetic Cannon. Internet Addicted Cat. I really enjoy playing games online. Snow-blowing Queen. I am indeed the queen of the snow-blowing group. Revenge Sword Ghost. So, the newcomer. Isn't he a human? Newcomer's new book, Seeking Flowers, Seeking Evaluation Tickets. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. Snow-blowing team bringing people into the team. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Chapter 5, Super Electromagnetic Cannon. But there is indeed a possibility, after all, there is no rule in chat groups that people must join. Snow-blowing Queen. Yes, for example, Cat Sauce is a demon, and you and I are both superpowers. Super Electromagnetic Cannon. That. I think I should still be considered human. Revenge Sword Ghost. That's why I think the identity of the newcomer is particularly important. Internet Addicted Kitten. That's not necessarily true, right? You see, you're called Sword Ghost, but aren't you also a human? Revenge Sword Ghost. It's different. If we have a tradition of swordsmanship and good cultivation here, we will all be given a title, such as Sword Saint, Sword Demon, Sword Ghost, Sword Immortal, and so on. If possible, I would rather not use this nickname. It's too shameful. Revenge Sword Ghost. But the title of Demon Emperor as a newcomer is very intriguing. Revenge Sword Ghost. I feel like a big shot. Super electromagnetic cannon. Can it be a distant relative of Little Cat Sauce? Phantoms are also demons. Master of Wanhua Mirror. Just ask me about this kind of thing, won't you? Although it's true that I'm a demon, I don't think I've been expelled yet. Just treat me like a human, said the Demon Emperor. Although I have traveled through time, gained the power of one of the three illusions, and been locked up with a group of extremely vicious wizarding criminals, Bai Ye still feels like a good person. Of course, you can coax me into treating me like a big shot, said the Demon Emperor. Super electromagnetic cannon. It's both a demon and a human, your composition is quite complex. Revenge Sword Ghost. It's okay, as long as it's not a bad person, we're all family members who love each other anyway. Lord of the Wanhua Mirror. But then again, what kind of world is the new person in? Joining a chat group, the members are naturally most concerned about the world of others. Everyone has a curiosity. People living in rural areas are interested in big cities, while those living in big cities are interested in other countries. Not to mention a unique new world. Phantom Emperor. I don't know yet, because I seem to be locked up in a prison and trying to find my way. Snow-blowing Queen. Super electromagnetic cannon. Revenge Sword Ghost. Internet addicted kitten. Did I misread? Or did the newcomer say the wrong thing? How could they be in prison? At this moment, the girls frowned together. After all, everyone is usually a law-abiding citizen. Blowing snow is even more important in maintaining urban order, and it is the first B-level hero to join the Heroes Association. For criminals, it naturally carries other emotional connotations. Of course. For other girls, what else can be imprisoned besides being a prisoner? Any normal person will wear prejudice and colored glasses. Master of Wanhua Mirror. The newcomer shouldn't be a criminal, right? See here. Everyone immediately came up with a classic trick of a great demon who committed adultery and was sealed in hell by brave warriors and saints. If being handsome is a sin, then I am indeed an unforgivable criminal, said the Phantom Emperor, Revenge Sword Ghost. I have never seen such a shameless person before. Super electromagnetic cannon. Indeed, I often see handsome guys, but it's the first time someone as narcissistic as you has seen them. The Snow-blowing Queen. So, you're not a criminal, are you? So why did you appear in prison? To be honest, I'm also very curious, said the Phantom Emperor, Internet addicted kitten. Wait, so, is the newcomer a boy? The Lord of Wanhua Mirror. Oh. Super electromagnetic cannon. Can't you? Are the newcomers originally boys? Snow-blowing Queen. Did you just realize? If it's a girl, would she take the initiative to say she's handsome? Revenge Sword Ghost. Fortunately, we didn't talk about private topics, otherwise I would have to find a crack in the ground to get in now. As the saying goes, 3 women play a play. Before Bai Ye joined the group, there were a total of 5 girls. Although they all come from different worlds and have different personalities, they are just like 2 faces of netizens online and offline. Offline is a delicate and beautiful girl, while online is a big guy with strong muscles. But let's put it this way. Are the remaining 2 members of the group who he doesn't know their identities also female? So, is he the only male member in the entire group? However, all female group members are great. Momo. He will be the only man in the future. The Lord of Wanhua Mirror. Can we leave without a way? There's probably no normal way to go, but I can take a look around first, said the Phantom Emperor, Revenge Sword Ghost. A prison that can stump a big shot is definitely not an ordinary prison. Don't say it yet. Although she knew it was a joke, she was quite right. After all, prison boundaries are different from other prisons. This is a special prison that the void which Nangong needs to guard in her dream after signing a contract with the demon. That is to say, this prison is located in a different world. Even without prison guards, it is impossible to leave here by finding the gate. Not to mention, Bai Ye just smashed a corner of the prison with one shot. The outside world is chaotic, with no way out. After all, even ordinary prisons cannot pay attention to powerful wizarding criminals. Super electromagnetic cannon. If it's innocent, can't we find the prison guards to report it? Revenge Sword Ghost. Although I haven't been inside before, I don't think it's possible to do so. Snow Blowing Queen. If normal methods don't work, how about jailbreaking? If you join the Snow Blowing Queen now, I can credit you with a superpower to help you escape. Master of Wanhua Mirror. It's already this time, can Miss Blowing Snow still remember to bring people into the group? Snow Blowing Queen. Cough, get used to it, just say it out loud. Super electromagnetic cannon. You can use integral to strengthen your body first. Anyway, as your body becomes stronger, the difficulty of escaping from prison will also decrease. In fact, Bai Ye is not in a hurry about jailbreaking. But when I hear about integral strengthening the body, Bai Ye plans to experiment. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Xiandu Muaye. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Chapter 6, Group Message. Group member, Magic Emperor, has checked in once and earned 100 points, Super Electromagnetic Cannon. Lucky. I signed in for half a month and only got 2 points. When I first joined the group, I only had 50 points. Internet Addict Cat. Do newcomers have a beginner protection period? Revenge Sword Ghost. I seem to have 80 points. Snow Blowing Queen. If 100 points are used for reinforcement, ordinary people will have a very obvious feeling. How do you feel now? After receiving the points, Bai Ye used the reinforcement function of the chat group. The chat group silently deducted 100 points, and Bai Ye suddenly felt a warm current entering his body. Then. There's no more then. Thanks to the power of the Demon Emperor, Bai Ye has already achieved a rebirth. Don't say it's 100. Even if it's 1,000 points or 10,000 points, the improvement will not be too significant. Perhaps the enhanced features of chat groups are only intended for ordinary people to use, and for the strong, there is no actual improvement. Basic points can be used for reinforcement, but once a bottleneck is reached, the effect will be greatly reduced. Although using points alone is not without the possibility of achieving enlightenment, the consumption of time and points is massive. Perhaps chat groups have other ways to use points besides shopping, but they have not yet been unlocked. Super Electromagnetic Cannon. How are the newcomers feeling? Do they have a feeling of radiant radiance? Super Electromagnetic Cannon. When I first used it, I felt like I could float my whole body up and kill a cow with just one punch. Although he is a superpower, his body is still at the level of an ordinary person. For the first time using integral reinforcement, Meichin Osaka felt that she was about to ascend to heaven on the spot. Of course, it's just an illusion. However, the comprehensive improvement of physical fitness is tangible. Revenge Sword Ghost. I have it too, it feels like I've become Superman. I don't feel very obvious, said the snow-blowing queen, super electromagnetic cannon. That's because you are already a superpower, snow-blowing sister. Sigh, everyone is a superpower. Why can superpowers in snow-blowing sisters' world strengthen their bodies together? Perhaps this is the pure natural benefit, said the snow-blowing queen, super electromagnetic cannon. Damn it. I really want to be a raw stone-level superpower too. In the college city. Almost all superpowers are acquired through learning and development in school. Although the teacher has also said that there are innate superpowers in the world, the number is extremely rare. Not to mention giant pandas, they are just 1 in a million. According to records, there are only about 50 people in the world with innate abilities. Internet addict Kitty. But, Yuzaka, aren't you the 5th-ranked superpower in the college city rankings? Even if you're a raw stone superpower, you can't compare to me, can you? Super electromagnetic cannon. That's the way it is said, but when using the raw stone superpower, it can be used casually. Unlike us, who need to calculate various formulas in the brain, that's why I envy superpowers like Sister Blowing Snow. Snow Blowing Queen. I completely cannot understand how releasing superpowers requires calculating formulas like solving math problems. Isn't superpower something that can be used if you want? Revenge Sword Ghost. Alas, being in the same group as you superpowers makes me feel like a spicy chicken. Internet addicted kitten. This is because of the world, it has nothing to do with you, Sister Mu Gung. Master of Wanhua Mirror. Speaking of which, what about newcomers? Illusion Emperor. I'm back, it doesn't feel particularly obvious either. Super electromagnetic cannon. It's not very obvious either. You are indeed a hidden powerhouse, newcomer. Revenge Sword Ghost. Newcomers say they are illusions, they must be very strong. Super electromagnetic cannon. I thought he was joking with us before. Snow-blowing queen. Ah. So isn't the newcomer an ordinary person? Internet addicted kitten. I always feel like the newcomer is super strong. The Phantom Emperor. There's nothing powerful, it's just ordinary strength. Although White Knight is joyful, it still communicates with these female leads who used to only appear on the screen with a calm heart. After all, we can't see each other now, so it's not a problem to just chat with ordinary group members. Phantom Emperor. Someone is here, I'll leave first. Super electromagnetic cannon. Goodbye. Revenge Sword Ghost. Boss 88. Internet addicted kitten. 88, return to reality. Bai Ye looked towards the quiet prison corridor in front of him. Don't hide, come out. Continuing. As the words fell, a figure slowly appeared with the ripples of space. I've seen you, sir. Her voice is as pleasant as a musical instrument, with a hint of respectfulness in her tone. What appeared in Bai Ye's eyes was a young girl with long hair hanging down to her feet. She was wearing 12 princess-like single clothes from the Heian era. However, although it is magnificent and complex clothing, it is dyed with simple black and white colors, giving people a cold feeling. Young and beautiful in appearance, with a gentle smile on her face, her crimson eyes cautiously gazing at Bai Ye. There must be a distinction between Zhuangzhou and butterfly. This so-called objectification refers to the empty prison boundary, which is the appearance of the gap which Nangong Na Yu in her dream. The girl recited an ancient poem from the heavenly dynasty towards the White Knight and bowed slightly towards it. Sir, the prison barrier is a fictional world constructed by witches in their dreams. As it exists in others' dreams, those imprisoned here are absolutely unable to escape from it. So, my lord, I have a request. Would you be willing to listen? Her crimson eyes were fixed on Bai Ye, as if waiting for him to respond. And Bai Ye also recognized the woman's identity. Xiandu Muaye, who used to be a friend of Nangong Na Yue, was defeated by Nangong Nayue and imprisoned in the prison barrier due to a disagreement in his beliefs and his desire to erase magic. She looks quite beautiful. Much better than the previous seductive vampire. Okay, I'll take you away. You can come with me from now on. What? Xiandu Muaye was stunned. Why is this different from what she imagined? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. The Power of the Demon Emperor. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Chapter 7. Is it not the normal process for her to provide assistance and then agree to join the partnership during the day and night, and the two of them cooperate? Why is it suddenly like this now? Mute. If you don't agree, then forget it. Looking at the silent appearance of Muaye in the capital city, Bai Ye thought she wouldn't agree. But I didn't force it either. In fact, he also knew that the witch had been planning to escape the prison barrier. Even before the war broke out with Nangong that month, preparations were made for being locked up. Prepare her own replica, receive education within the witch organization under her command, and wait for one day to liberate her from the prison barrier. And it was also successful. If it weren't for the fourth true ancestor meddling too much later, perhaps she would have escaped. And the reason why Xiandu Muaye appears now is probably because he is interested in his military prowess and wants to cooperate. But pondering in the white night. Even if it's a dream, he should be able to break it. Collaboration. Not existing. Cooperation is only considered when there is equal value, while utilization can only be considered when there is inequality. Say it. Bai Ye turned around and left. Before leaving, take a look around. Wait until you're tired before going out. Hence Xiandu Muaye watched helplessly as the young man turned around and left, speechless. After standing still for a while, she couldn't help but clench her fists and then follow up. 3 minutes later, the day and night became tired. After all, the prison barrier is not much fun. The area is narrow and the movable area is also pitifully small. The only benefit is that because it's in a dream, there's no need to feel hungry or excrete. But boredom is certain. Some weaker demonic criminals cannot break free from their shackles. Those who can move freely are relatively strong criminals. But now, the strong criminals, when they meet the White Knight, are like chickens encountering eagles, wishing to bury their heads in the soil. He kept muttering, "Don't see me," and "Don't see me." Even if it's a criminal. It's also scary. They may even be able to ignore their true ancestors, but they cannot achieve the level of effortlessly killing more than 10 of the strongest criminals in the prison without changing their faces. After all, they haven't seen Jinzhu before. But that young man who suddenly emerged can really kill them like throwing garbage. Some of them even feel that the gap which intentionally let this person in with the aim of killing them. But Bai Ye has little interest in them. "I'm tired, let's go out." After speaking, Bai Ye glanced at the immortal capital Muaye hanging far behind him. Hear this sentence. Xiandu Muaye couldn't help but mutter inwardly. If it's so easy to go out, why does she have to plan carefully? Why are the people here being locked in and powerless? Isn't it because the prison barrier in the dream world is impossible to escape through normal means? But she didn't speak. Anyway, as long as this man is exhausted, he will recognize reality. After all, criminals like him who were initially locked in and confidently wanted to leave, without exception, were all slapped in the face. Then, it's when she takes the lead. Surprisingly, he even said to let himself be with him. What are you joking about? I can be your big sister at my age. The words have just finished. The ground beneath my feet began to vibrate imperceptibly. She hasn't noticed what happened yet. The originally flat prison surface instantly shattered like a spider web. What happened? The sudden anomaly widened the eyes of the criminals. They looked flustered, like the 8 immortals crossing the sea, each displaying their own abilities and trying to stabilize their bodies. As a witch, the fairy capital Muaye leaped into mid-air. This is the first time she has seen such a scene in years of being locked up here. You should know that prison boundaries have special techniques for reinforcement. Magical criminals can at most destroy a few stone pillars or walls here, but they can quickly recover. But the scene of even the ground exploding is still the first time I have seen it. She is a bit confused. Subsequently, Xiandu, Muaye, and even all the other surviving criminals, have witnessed an unforgettable scene in this life. The earth has broken open. The rich darkness gushed out like a spring, accompanied by this chaotic pitch black. The huge figure soared into the sky like the Himalayas. The prison, which had been strengthened by magic, was instantly destroyed in half, and the entire building screamed like a collapse. The blue demon descended from the darkness. That is a terrifying body that is difficult to describe with words, a perfect blend of alien beauty and devil's ferocity within that rough body. The exposed purple muscles seem to have no skin, but they give off a feeling of immense strength. The body is covered with a layer of dark blue armor, like the broad bat wings stretching left and right like those of demons in movies. The dark mist spread and swam on his surface. Just like a demon king born from hell. Phantom Emperor. Rabbi Al. Originating from Raphael, one of the 4 archangels in the Bible. But this image is not exactly the same as the so-called angel. It can only be said that it has nothing to do with it. For a while, all the criminals in the prison barrier felt a deep shudder. I just stared blankly at the powerful demon in front of me, so shocked that I couldn't even make a sound. This, even if it's a true ancestor-level beast, it's just that. Oh, actually you look like this. Bai Ye looked at the huge phantom he summoned. This is not the true Phantom Emperor, but a projection of White Knight's use of power. It's a bit like the double in JoJo. Of course, this double is a bit big. This level should be able to break the barrier. If it doesn't work, then we'll lose it to the adults. After whispering to oneself, Bai Ye raised his right fist and swung it towards the chaos outside the prison. The Phantom Emperor, who was closely following him, also clenched his claws and fists. Then it roared away, carrying a dark blue energy charge. The strongest demonic power is crazily destroying the chaos outside the prison. Not long after, everyone heard a clear, click sound. A crack appeared at the boundary of the dream, revealing a hint of white light. Subsequently, the cracks grew larger and continued to fall like fragments. Finally, I was able to see the sky outside. Fortunately, it broke open. Bai Ye has gained a new understanding of the power of the Demon Emperor. After all, only stronger power than the void which can bring out the key prison barrier again. Now let's take a look. The 3 illusions demons are not deceiving me. Enough for him to walk horizontally in the following days. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Is sincerity used for girls in Chapter 8? You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Chapter 8. Surprisingly, it really opened. The eyes of the immortal capital Muaye were full of incomprehension. As both witches, she knows best how tricky the prison barrier is. And among all the methods she came up with, there was only one that was useful. That is to first awaken Nangong Nayue from the outside world, materialize the prison barrier, and then use one's own strength to break free from the shackles and rush out. This man, however, has accomplished the task of opening the path to reality in his dreams. How incredible! And the giant shadow behind the man just now is it a demon god? Or while Muaye was shocked, Bai Ye had already regained his strength. Then he walked towards the crack. Until the figure reappeared in the outside world. Is it sunny? Cover the glaring sunlight with your hands at night. The distant sea surface shimmered against the backdrop of sunlight. The sea breeze blowing head-on is mixed with the unique fishy smell of the ocean. Farewell, cage. At the same time, the prisoners in the prison boundary really walked out when they saw Bai Ye. After being stunned for a few seconds, he immediately rushed frantically towards the crack. The people who are locked up here always want to be free. And today, the wish is right in front of us. However, when the first prisoner had just stepped half a step out of the prison barrier, a big pussy suddenly fanned over, and the prisoner suddenly flew backwards. The criminal behind suddenly stopped. Then they saw Bai Ye sticking his head out from outside. Who stipulates that you can go out? Be honest and reform yourself, and strive for a successful transformation. I believe in you. After speaking, White Knight is ready to leave. But in the moment he turned his head. Wait. Wait. At the last moment, the immortal capital Muaye spoke impatiently. I agree. In the end, he almost shouted out in a self-destructive way. Agreed. It's already late. If I think of it, I have a new condition for you now. Got it. I agree. She always has a feeling in her heart. If we can't leave this time, we may never be able to leave in our lifetime. And the witch's intuition is very accurate. Because of the variable of White Knight, it completely disrupted her plan. Perhaps the backup means of staying outside may not be effective at all. While speaking, Xiandu had already walked quickly over. Bai Ye, with a smile on his face, grabbed the small hand she had reached out and pulled her out. At the same time, the criminals started to stir up again when they saw someone leave. But they sadly discovered that the terrifying man was still standing there, and the cracks in their dream began to be repaired. What are you doing? Xiandu asked. The feeling of seeing the sun again is not as exhilarating as imagined. And it's all because of the man in front of me. Of course it's about repairing the barrier. I'm planning to fill this thing in to prevent the people inside from running out. How about that? Do I have a strong sense of public morality? Bai Ye doesn't know how to fill the cracks in his dream, but that's not important. He just needs to unleash his dark power and block this thing. And it's guaranteed to be even stronger than before. Xiandu is simply speechless. But I am also fortunate to be able to run out. Otherwise, it may really have to stay in that dark place forever. Soon, the dream barrier was repaired. As the barrier closed, the immortal capital Muaye also breathed a sigh of relief. After all, staying outside is better than staying inside. Alright, now it's between you and me. Bai Ye turned her head and smiled as she looked at the witch in front of her. Previously, the light was a bit dim, but now it seems that the appearance of Muaye in Xiandu is indeed superior. Before traveling, he had only seen it online. But he also knew that those women were just synthetic people after makeup and high post-production. The internet is all fake, he can't grasp it. But now it's different. This witch must be very comfortable to warm the bed with. Xiandu is a bit panicked. She felt that Bai Ye's gaze was a bit off, as she had been staring at her body with a burning gaze. She felt like she was on a thief's boat. And it's still the kind that can't get down. As per my previous request, I will become your ally and never betray you. She decided to take the initiative first, as something was wrong with her. But Bai Ye clearly didn't want to do this. It's not an ally, it's a maid. The kind of maid who willingly dedicates her body and mind to serving her master, understand? Bai Ye scrutinized the witch and said. Little sample, do you still want to play tricks with me at this time? If this kind of request is made. She certainly knows what a maid means. But she instinctively didn't want to agree. If you don't agree, I'll throw you back. You know, I'm a person who values sincerity. Bai Ye's eyes were very sincere. And Xiandu Muaye also felt his seriousness. Damn it. Is sincerity used for girls like this? Damn it. In reality. The witch forced herself to nod. There's no way, people have to bow their heads under the eaves. Promising verbally is not enough, we still need to sign a contract. I heard him say that. She collapsed. I'm really going to collapse. She is clearly a little ghost younger than her age, why do she have so many thoughts every day? But she has no choice now. So, 1 minute later. The witch contract has been reached. And it is also an unconditional made contract that takes effect under the witness of White Knight. Xiandu Muaye wanted to cry, but she managed to hold back her sadness. Let's go, take me shopping next. From the perspective of being surrounded by the sea on all sides, this should be the special zone of the demon clan, Xiantian Island, in the original work. Due to its location in the Dragon Vein, the island feels like spring all year round. The average temperature is around 20 degrees. However, in summer, it is generally above 35 degrees Celsius. After being exposed to the sun for a while, Bai Ye felt a bit sweaty. There's no way. After all, the power of the Demon Emperor does not come with sunscreen. Emperor Xinyan is quite similar. Xiandu Muaye remained silent. He can really say the sentence of asking her to take her to Xiantian Island for shopping. I have been locked up for almost 10 years. She didn't know what it looked like outside for a long time. However, the effectiveness of the made contract also made it impossible for her to refuse. And now she has started to worry about her chastity. How can one maintain purity even after signing such a contract? Can I go there and take a look before leaving the island? Reorganize your mood. Xiandu Muaye pointed to the nearby temple and said. The dream was forcibly shattered by the White Knight. Although the prison boundary has not been fully materialized, its influence has also caused spatial fluctuations, revealing the key hidden in another world. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. Where do you put this and that? You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Chapter 9. Although it has been a long time, she remembers some things very clearly. That church is the place where the key to the prison boundary is stored. And the key is the moon in Nangong. Also an old friend who turned against each other. The main entrance of the church is tightly closed. There are magical waves flowing above. However, this technique is very simple for the capital city of Muaye. Then the stone gate slowly opened with a heavy sound. There are no lights inside, only empty spaces are expanding. Only a chair is placed in the center. On the chair lay a soft velvet blanket, while on the blanket lay a beautiful and immature girl with tightly closed eyes, like a porcelain doll. At the moment of seeing her, a look of anger and nostalgia appeared on the face of the immortal capital Muaye. It's hard to believe that these two expressions will appear on a person's face at the same time. But the fact is that Xiandu Muaye used to be friends with Nangong Niue. But later on, due to differences in ideas, Xiandu Muaye wants to use a magic book to erase the magic of this world, in order to change the fate of the witch being cursed. But Nangong Niue disagrees. Because this will bring many irreversible adverse effects. And then it becomes the enemy. Void Witch. Are you still accepting this unfair fate? What a fool. Why did you stop my plan back then? Anger arises from memory, and the immortal capital Muaye angrily complains. But at this moment, a slightly childish voice rang out. So, are you still reminiscing about what happened 10 years ago? The sound appeared in front of me. From the water-rippled space, a girl just like Nangong Niue who was leaning on the chair went out with an umbrella. She was wearing a white Gothic dress with ruffled edges at the hem. The appearance is more like a young girl than a young girl. Without a doubt, the speaker was a puppet made by Nangong Nayue with magic. It's completely different from the fairy city of Muaye, who has a teenage physique. Bai Ye remembers that some witches stop growing after signing contracts with demons. It seems that both of these people are similar. That is to say, legitimate lowly. Why did you stop me in the first place? Even though the manager of your island would have allowed you to be free, it was because you were a prop designed as a prison barrier manager, and you couldn't use your body to move. You could only live alone in this world's dream and live alone forever. Xiandu Muaye seems to be lamenting. Are you worried about me? You are as gentle as ever, I. Nangong Nanyue showed a pitiful gaze and a faint smile on her face. That is a gentle smile that cares for former friends. You're really stubborn. Xiandu Muaye clenched his fist and unleashed his magic. And Nangong Nayue also squinted her eyes. It's just a repetition of the battle 10 years ago. After being imprisoned for 10 years, Nangong Nayue did not believe that the immortal capital Muaye could defeat him. Even if my magic has weakened now due to the vibration of my dreams. But in this tense atmosphere of swords and crossbows. Cough, this legitimate lowly, please allow me to say a few words. Upon hearing this, two witches looked at Bai Ye together. Well, I've finished speaking. Bai Ye nodded and said. What? What? At this moment. If it's in an animated film, there will definitely be a question mark on their heads that is larger than their heads. What is this person doing? Are you really saying a few words? What are you doing here and there? You've played with nonsense literature, haven't you? You seem to have a lot of objections to me. The White Knight paused. Xiandu Muaye silently shook his head and didn't say anything. She just felt completely clueless about what this man would do next. So she remained silent. And you? Looking at the moon in the southern palace at night. Who are you? Nangong Nayue's eyes turn. Why did I seem to listen very much to this man just now? It's probably an illusion. However, combined with the turbulent situation of the prison boundary before. She gradually narrowed her eyes. Did you and I escape from prison? If we obediently go back now, I will take it lightly. She doesn't know Bai Ye. However, over a decade, she has captured hundreds of criminals. There are also many who are locked up at the prison boundary. She couldn't remember everyone except for a few who left a deep impression. Say it. The surrounding space resounded with the metallic sound of chains being pulled. The silver chain appeared straight beside Bai Ye, entwined around his body. If you don't have much impression, it means you don't have much strength. The only thing that truly needs attention is Muaye, the capital city. The chains wrapped around Bai Ye's hands, forming shackles. Just as everyone who is bound by the lock of discipline struggles, Nangong Nayue sneered faintly, don't bother, this is a chain forged by gods, even orcs can't break it. The words have just finished. I only heard constant banging sounds. In the unbelievable expression of Nangong that month. The man in front of him, wearing big shorts and slippers, was like breaking a tree branch and breaking the lock of discipline on his body. Nangong didn't expect the slap to come so quickly that month. So much so that after breaking the chain during the day and night, he slowly spat out the last word open from his mouth. An unimaginable scene. Nangong Nanyue could never have imagined that one day she would witness the scene of the lock of the precepts being broken by someone else. This is the weapon she is proud of. Advance can attack, retreat can defend, and it is more convenient to catch people. So far, whether it's vampires or orcs, even the legendary dragon slayer who can slaughter dragons cannot break free. However, today he was broken by a man he had never seen before. Sorry, I didn't hear what you just said clearly. Bai Ye asked sincerely. He. That month, It seems that even you don't know what kind of monster is locked up in the prison barrier. Seeing his friend suffer from exhaustion, Xiandu Muaye was very happy. Monster. It seems that I is a bit disobedient. How could a maid describe her master like that? Upon hearing this, Bai Ye looked at her with an unhappy expression. Monsters. What monster? There is no person in this world who has more love than him. And although the kimono in this 12 robe looks good, it covers it too tightly. If she has time, she should wear JK royal sister lace and white silk to appreciate and appreciate. Here we go again. That strange gaze. Xiandu Muaye couldn't help but wrap her body around her. Who the hell are you? At this point, Nangong Nayue, whose chains were torn apart, let out a coquettish cry. The lock of discipline can still be restored, so it's okay. But what shocked her was what Muaye from the capital city said. Indeed, when did such a monster appear within the prison barrier? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. The Demon Emperor Standing on the Earth. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Chapter 10. Of course it's your boyfriend from Yuejiang. Bai Ye smiled and said. This sentence instantly darkened Nangong Nayue's face upon hearing it. Although I don't know exactly who you are, I will make you remember it well. After speaking, a purple magic rose around Nangong Nayue's body. At the same time, a faint ripple emerged from the space. A terrifying sound appears from the air that resembles water. Then two huge arms, dressed in golden armor and made up of machinery, appeared from behind Nangong Nayue. Just her palms are far beyond her original height. Even the surrounding air became sticky due to the appearance of the golden arm. It can be imagined how powerful the true owners of these two arms would be. It seems that we have taken it seriously, that month. Xiandu Muaye's eyes are deep. Continue speaking. Did you even summon the guardians to deal with us? If I go back and stay well, I can still take action against I, but this man can't. Nangong Nanyue looked at Bai Ye with a cold expression. If seen by the demon clan, they will definitely be scared by the gap witch and urinate in their buttocks. But this young face actually appeared quite cute in the eyes of Bai Ye. After knocking you out, I will pry out all the information from your mouth in detail. Oh. Can I consider this as murder of my husband? Bai Ye raised an eyebrow. Although the aura is much stronger than the previous lock of precepts, it is still not enough to see. Sure enough. When the opponent is too weak, even provocation can become cute. The golden arm suddenly grabbed onto Bai Ye's body. Due to the act of breaking the lock of precepts before Bai Ye, Nangong Nayue deliberately increased the output of magic. However, even so, the golden arm is still blocked by the black mist that surrounds the body by the white knight. The guardian's strong roar emanated from the void. But it's like using tofu to pinch steel. This kind of thing is impossible in itself. How could this be? Looking at the safe and sound white knight, Nangong Nayue couldn't help but doubt her own eyes. Not to mention being a vampire from the old generation, even a true ancestor-level beast can have a way to deal with her. Surprisingly, she has no choice but to become an unknown little character. The Xiandu Muaye next to her was a little overjoyed. When you feel exhausted, it's embarrassing. But even my former friends have suffered from eating too much, so let's continue to eat too much. It seems that Yuejiang's kung fu is not up to par yet. Bai Ye smiled and said. What's going on? Aren't you planning to give up yet? With your strength, you won't be able to defeat me. You stinky kid. The provocative words she heard directly angered Nangong Nayue. As a national demon attacking official and a teacher of the people, she has decided to give a good lesson to the ignorant guy in front of her. With the sound of metal trembling, the lock of discipline reappeared. However, this time it is not a restraint, but an attack. The chain that received the command began to charge towards the white knight like a snake. Accompanied by the sound of air being torn apart, the chains howled as they arrived. What's the use of continuing this weak attack? That being said. But Bai Ye still easily broke free from the golden arm and dodged the attack of the lock of precepts. Although his current strength improvement is comprehensive, his 2 fists are unbeatable to his 4 hands, and he cannot grasp so many chains with his 2 hands. Moreover, the clothes on oneself are not protective. He doesn't want to run naked in the crowd right after crossing over. The chain plopped into the ground. On the other side, Bai Ye looked at Nangong Niue, who was full of fighting spirit, with a helpless expression on her face. Based on his understanding of Nangong Niue, this little witch would not simply give up due to a difference in strength. If you can't beat the space control magic, just leave. That seems to only threaten what she cares about. So to speak, is it Xiandu Island? Thinking of this, a faint smile appeared on Bai Ye's face. After crossing over, his moral bottom line is very flexible. He doesn't have much heart and soul to be any Virgin Mary. Being a villain occasionally is not a bad thing. Anyway, as long as he lives comfortably. If you still can't live happily after gaining strength, it's better to raise pigs in a circle. Moon sauce, if you can resist the next move, then I'll surrender. Bai Ye said. What? Seeing the man's expression, Nangong Niue felt a hint of foreboding in her heart. And her premonition quickly came true. I saw the shadow behind Bai Ye quickly elongating and growing larger. The temperature around suddenly dropped rapidly, and the world in front of me suddenly darkened. It's not that the sun is covered by clouds. But a thick black mist permeated the surroundings at an unknown time. It's these black mist that absorbs the light. Next up. In the viscous darkness, Nangong Niue couldn't help but shiver. Accompanied by the murmuring sound of some creature, the dark blue giant broke through the darkness, and his feet crushed the islands. The vast body of Yulan, which leans more towards black, stands tall on the earth. The armor of the whole body resembles bones, and the unknown black energy wraps around every inch of the body. The crimson demon's eyes are filled with violence and cruelty that shatters everything. It seems that as long as he is willing, he can easily destroy the world in the palm of his hand. Not only that. A body that is hundreds of meters tall also gives people a powerful deterrent. The residents of Xiandu Island on the coast will see their figures appearing from the darkness. At first, there was an expression of confusion. But as the power of the Phantom Emperor gradually dissipated, the rich darkness radiated in all directions like mist towards the Xiandu Island. And from that darkness, people felt absolute coldness. Fear and anxiety began to spread among the crowd. Just showing up completely paralyzes the nearby traffic and order. And when he appeared, the rich shadow also covered the entire moon in Nangong. Her eyes were filled with shock and incomprehension. No matter how much she searches through her mind, she cannot find any information related to it. But this power is definitely not something that can be forged. As an experienced demon attacker, she can be certain. Even the 3 great true ancestors standing at the top of the world are just like this, right? Seeking fresh flowers, Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.